Hi!
You realized something.
I just realized I didn't switch screens and it was already done. Hi! How's everyone?
Hello,
Oops. Here we are.
There we go.
Hello.
looks like the stream is all working. I can hear people.
Let's
That's
go.
good.
I'm being heard. Let's go.
Alright. So, now that we've officially gone to the start screen, well, I mean, yeah,
Gone away from the
we've
start
officially
screen.
gone to the Roomba screen. We've started the Roomba properly now.
Yes.
Yeah. We're on the table.
So, how was everyone's week?
Biden. You know, Joe Biden.
Joe
My
Biden.
week was basically a week, and I've had a schnitzel. I swear to God, I ascended. That schnitzel was so good. I swear to God, bro.
Austrian
I was
moment.
at peace. Yes. And don't get me started on the potato salad.
Tater. How dare you eat potatoes? Didn't you know that because of them, the Irish had a famine?
No, that
Yeah.
the Irish had a famine because of the English.
Yeah, basically.
Not basically.
The Irish had a famine because they didn't have potatoes.
Exactly.
Something bad happened to the Irish. Who was
Stop
it?
eating
The
them,
English?
or the Irish will have a famine again.
No, Ireland isn't just one vast monoculture anymore.
Should go back to the time where the English people were bothered by the Norwegians and the Swedish. No, good old Vikings.
Go back to when Norway was occasionally invading England and burning down a church
Yeah, basically.
for the funny.
Ooh, diamonds.
Nice.
Oh, they're infected. God damn it.
Damn. My week was fine. My volunteering thing I was doing, the main one I was doing, came to an end because they ran out of work for me.
Oh,
Because me and the person I was working with were so efficient, we got through it faster than anticipated.
that's funny.
Oops.
So hell yeah.
Ah, too quick.
The supervisor invited me out to a little sandwich place in the city as a thank you, which is nice. It was a very good sandwich.
That's very good.
Nice,
Based.
nice.
It's also right next to Ike, so I could take the light rail over to it, which is very convenient. Both because, you know, it's an excuse to ride a train, and also because there's a light rail station near me that has a park and ride lot where it's free to park in it, and all the parking downtown is you have to pay for it.
Is, you know, expensive.
Well, it's not expensive, it's more just I don't want to. And
enough.
I'd already got on the pass for the pay pass card system they use for the transit in the area. Which for the light rail is like you put it on there and just until it expires you just have unlimited rides, and it expires in like months.
Let's go.
It costs like $4 to put it on. It's like, wow,
But
that's a much better deal than just buying the tickets normally. Wow.
What a steal. What a deal.
And again, I get the feeling they probably have really high rates of fare evasion on that system, gonna be honest. But that's just people being cringe, so, no.
yeah.
Nothing new.
Yeah. Then got work at my actual job that I'm getting paid at. Did that Friday, and I've got it again later today. They've got me working closing, which we close the park today at 10, which means on the schedule I'm listed as going as late as potentially 11:30
AM or PM?
p.m.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Not AM. If it was AM, I'd already be there.
Yeah.
And also,
Yeah,
if it was AM, you wouldn't be closing.
No.
You'd be opening.
Though apparently today's the day the park has a like built-in water park section. Today's the day that's opening.
Yo, water
Oh.
park, let's go.
What?
Time to
That's
get
relevant to-
moist.
Whoa.
As you all may or may not be aware, Mina's gonna be coming up to this region for a friend's thing, and we're planning on while here, swinging by, saying hi. The last day she's here, picking her up to drive to the airport, but I'm picking her up early in the morning so we can swing by Lay local amusement park.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Which I was looking at the location that Mina says, like, dang, you really are on the complete other end of the city from me.
Damn. That sucks.
That's
Well, luckily, it's literally like 90% of the journey is like one urban freeway. So,
Yes, urban freeway. That makes sense.
yes, because this is the United States. Though, to be fair, it is the one that they ran one of the light rail lines down the median of. Which, on the one hand, is cringe because it's running a public transit service down the median of a highway, so all the stations suck. But on the other hand, it is apparently the most used part of the system, so
I guess protect us.
I guess it works. Yeah. The thing is, I was looking at it because we're also planning on stopping at an IHOP down there for breakfast, and I was looking, it's like, wow. I'm really sad now because the light rail system, the VTA light rail, used to have like a little spur line that they closed down because of low ridership. I guess it had like 3 stations total on it.
Mm-hmm.
But the IHOP is literally right next to where one of the stations used to be for it.
Yikes.
Like, dang. And the place we want to go is like right next to one of the stations.
Damn.
And you want to go to the airport, which is right near one of the stations. Damn.
Just damn, bro.
Just
Damn.
dang.
That'd be cool, but that'd also be a hassle and not what we're vibing with. But that would be one of those things where it's like, damn, if that was still there, I could have used that to get down there to say hi at some point while you were here, other than just when we were coming to get you and send you on your way. I mean, none of the stations are exactly close. I mean, the old closed down station is like 10 miles from where she's staying, but you know.
Oh.
It's literally right next to the IHOP.
I see.
Then the one near the amusement park is like, yeah, it's named after the amusement park, but it's on the far side of the parking lot. And it was put there before they built the football stadium there.
What? Football stadium? What the hell? I
Yeah,
thought it was an amusement park, not a football stadium.
they share a parking lot.
Ah.
So yeah, that'd be quite a walk. And then the airport, the light rail doesn't actually go to the airport because when they're building it, the taxi lobby, because fuck you.
Ah, okay.
Oh.
Just like the Las Vegas monorail. Cringe.
Very.
So, you know.
Ooh, I'm breaking 3 efficiency 3 iron, diamond X. Nice.
I was also looking at, because I volunteer at the airport at like the information booth. I was looking at volunteering at the information booth, like when we knew it would be arriving, to be helpful boyo. But I'm looking, like, dang, if I was gonna do that, the volunteering time's up for that runs till 11 p.m. Sorry.
Oh. Oh my
I ain't doing that.
If I'm volunteering,
wanna be
that is
helpful,
crazy. For volunteering, that is insane.
Yeah. Because it's like the 3-hour shifts, and it would be like 8 to 11 is like the shift for then. And it's like, nope. Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. The fuck you mean, nuh-uh? Nuh-uh.
You know, I ain't getting paid to stay up that late.
Fair enough. Completely understandable. Have a nice day. I honestly...
If you were paying me, maybe, but they're not paying me, so.
Oh, that's extra cringe. What?
Yeah, it's volunteering.
Volunteer position. So I'm just not gonna schedule myself for that bit. Sorry, Mina. How do we find the signs are pretty good? especially in the terminal that she's flying through, which is the nicer one.
Speaking of which, Mina isn't here for a reason, right? Today.
I don't know about specifically today. I know next week she's not gonna be here, because she would have like just been like gotten home. So she's probably gonna be EP.
The
Yeah.
Easter.
Which also, yeah, there's definitely not gonna be PMD&D next week, because Mina and I are gonna be in Lay Amusement Park at that time. So, just a hunch.
Just a bunch of hunch.
Yes.
Just the two of us.
Oh my god, another one! Holy shit!
Just the two.
Me, I just found 2 gold, enchanted golden apples.
Wow.
Oh, 2 gapples. That's good.
Where did I leave those?
Bolt, how was your week?
Pretty uneventful, I would say. Nothing too much happened.
Oh.
Uh,
Miles.
I know next week's
No,
gonna
you.
be fun.
Welcome, Miles, to the weekly podcast that my channel hosts, the Roomba of Thought, where we just, like a Roomba, we hit a wall and then we completely 180 to another topic.
Yeah?
Oh wait, beer, I have to get my Leberkäse.
You gotta get your what?
What?
What did he say?
Something in Austrian, presumably.
Well, let's hope so, because I heard liver.
I heard labor caber.
I gotta get my labor caber done? It's like, what?
Devilman TF2. Anyway, so into the idea box we go,
Yep.
and we start this week with
Back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What-
What was
okay.
it you had to go and get?
What? Yeah, what did you...
Leberkäse. It's like, it's a meatloaf that has cheese inside of it, combined with a semmel, a bread roll.
So, a meat sandwich?
Yeah, but it's a Leberkäse, it's its own thing. You know,
Okay,
it's
so it
a
is
concept.
so it is metal liver.
Okay, it's food. Okay.
It is food,
No.
yeah.
It is food. Yeah. No, it's just he's giving the Austrian name for it.
Yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
went so quickly saying it. Both Meep and I went, wait, what?
Bro, it's like it only has the name Leberkäse. That's basically its name.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's like both of us just didn't see it coming, I guess.
Yeah, I know, I was quick
Alright.
at it.
So, you know, the Darius has his food. We can get into it. I just realized I completely misspelled this in the idea box, but
Damn.
so apparently I saw an article saying Trump is considering establishing Trump Tower Ho Chi Minh City.
What?
Ho Chi Minh City Trump Tower is apparently under consideration.
I'm sorry, Nani the fuck?
With his fucking towers, if he is actually supposed to run the country.
Why would he do that? Because he's
Money.
egotistical, and Vietnam probably wants to like bribe his ego. I mean, it's not like he contributed to making sure Ho Chi Minh didn't win. So, given Mr. Bone Spurs got himself to dodge the draft by claiming to have bone spurs.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
True. You're so right. They did dodge of the Vietnam or whatever.
Literally, Mr. Fortunate Son over here.
Damn.
He
Why would
actually
Trump
played that
do
song
that?
at one of his. He actually played that song at one of his rallies once.
No shit. Lucky motherfucker.
He played Fortunate Son, and then like the band immediately said, "No, you fucking don't fucking play that again. Cease and desist.
You cease. Oh Jesus, hi creeper.
You are literally the person the song is making fun of. Not you specifically, but like
Your
still."
kind of people.
Anyway, in other news, the Department of Justice is reportedly considering making it easier to prosecute politicians.
Oh,
Ah,
oh fuck! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's a red light. Oh no! I don't like. Nope. 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 Nope.
So on the one hand, politicians doing crime is like a thing that happens, and they're really hard to prosecute for it. But on the other hand, the way they're going about making it easier to prosecute them is removing the checks against political prosecutions.
oh,
Yeah, no, they're going to go. I don't like that. Nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. So much nope. That's just red flags all over the place. I don't like that. And if anyone knows, and if no one thinks why is it, and if anyone asks why is that a red flag, guess what? A lot of
Wait, what do you mean? If anyone asks?
Hey, there's
I
a
wish
lot of
I-
really
I-
dumb people in the world, so
True. Most of them are in Congress.
exactly.
in general, would like
So
if
if anyone
anyone
there
hasn't read that,
asks why, hey, how about you ask Germany like 80 years ago?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
me,
because
I'm
it was all
dumb.
Germany.
Yeah, go ask Germany like
Thank God.
80 years ago. They,
Yeah.
they can tell you why. That's a red flag.
In other news, we go to the U.S. state of Oklahoma, famous for once being the American Indian Territory. Well, no, it was just called the Indian Territory. And for being the ranked 49th in education in the United States.
Oh boy, what did they do this time?
They have updated their K-12 curriculum, a curriculum already noted for being questionably
Bad.
it's already kind of Bible infested to begin with.
Oh,
They've added 2020 election denial conspiracy theories to the curriculum.
What?
I wish I was
But why?
joking.
I wish I.
is
fucking-
this state even functional? Does this state even is it functional? Does it breathe?
Somehow.
I think the tornado sirens are functional.
That's
Oh
pretty
my
much
God,
it.
Hopefully they are. Well,
Look,
people
I've
that live
been to
in
Oklahoma once. I was driving through. I was on a road trip. I was driving through Oklahoma, and the only thing notable that occurred was we had to slow down because it rained really, really hard. I don't
Honestly,
even think we
it
got
sounds-
off the interstate.
It sounds like an area where mostly there's just rain and it's literally like the world ending. Seeing that curriculum.
It's mostly tornadoes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
tornadoes.
Yeah, it's tornadoes. Is it Tornado Central or is it like close to being
Tornado
tornadoes?
Alley. It's Tornado Alley, which runs through northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. Hold on, I'm pulling up a map.
Why is it called Kansas and the other one's called Arkansas? I made a guy explain.
Tornado Alley is Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and a bit of South Dakota, mainly.
Shout
And that's where, like,
South Dakota.
yeah, and like Tornado Alley is where, like, I think it's over
Okay.
50% of all tornadoes on the world happen.
One question: is there even anything happening in Dakota?
Racism against the American Indians.
Other than that,
doesn't
is
not.
it, like,
There's a
Maybe
bunch of nuclear launch silos in the Dakotas.
oh, okay. Because like some states in the USA, you just never hear about them.
Well, yes, that's because there are some states in the USA with less population than cities.
That's
I don't even
crazy.
mean like necessarily big cities. Like, as a reminder, what the U.S. state of Wyoming is, I'm pulling it up in square kilometers, is 250,000 square kilometers. Just over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has a population of just under 590,000.
What do you mean there's
Ball.
less people in that entire state than in fucking Madrid?
Yes, bro, like in many cities.
There's a way more people in Madrid.
Valencia?
Wait, how many people? Again, where in the state?
There's more people in Valencia than in Wyoming. Yes.
Jesus.
Wyoming has a population of just under 590,000.
Ooh, fire aspect. I need that.
Bro! Nearly the second largest city in Austria competes with them.
Because I'd like to point out, hold on. I'm pulling up the Wikipedia list of largest cities in California by population.
Oh God, no! Don't tell me there's more people in Californian cities than in fucking the entirety of Wyoming.
What?
If Wyoming was a city in California, it would be the 5th most populous city.
Crazy. That's a fucking California movement right there.
Absolute insanity.
There are 3 cities in California, depending on which source you look at,
Wouldn't
which
it
have
be
over
4?
1 million people.
Oh,
No, there are 3 with over 1 million people, and then there's San Francisco, which is still more than Wyoming, but not over 1 million.
wait, San Francisco has less than 1 million?
Yeah.
Yes.
What? What?
Shocking. I thought
San
it had-
Francisco is only the 4th one. It's in California. It's Los Angeles
Yes.
at 3.9 million.
Yeah, makes sense.
San Diego at almost 1.5. There's
Okay.
San Jose, which is hovering at about 1 million. It's
Hmm.
like fluttering there. And then the San Francisco, which has, according to this number, 827,000 people.
Huh.
I would have literally put San Francisco above those
I
cities
think
with
I
my
think
thoughts.
everyone that isn't American would have put San Francisco above. Even some
Yeah.
Americans probably.
Yes,
I'm
San
surprised
Francisco's the
it's not-
famous city, and it's where like all the culture things is. But you have to remember, San Francisco doesn't have room for
Oh,
people.
true.
They are.
True.
Because San Francisco is all the way up at the end of the peninsula that has like the tail end of like the coastal mountain range running up it. It's the thing to keep in mind is when people think San Francisco generally, they as like things like San Jose is like back in the olden days that was San Francisco suburbia.
Aha, okay.
And the thing is San Jose is like many miles from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
They are, yeah, it's just by looking San Jose to San Francisco distance. The first result is like a Google get there thing, and it estimates from like city center to city center, I presume. It's 57 miles. No, it's 57 minutes for a distance of 48 miles.
Jesus.
Damn, bro.
And it's basically urban suburban sprawl the entire way.
It's just crazy.
Because it's like the got San Francisco, and then also in the Bay Area you've got San Jose, and you've also got Oakland, which is 8th on the list. There's just cities and cities and cities all over it. Basically, it's just one massive, endless sprawl.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's like, as I say, it's basically one giant metro area. Huge amount of land in one big metro area that's mostly suburban sprawl.
I see.
It's why the San Francisco airport, while it's the largest airport in the region, it's not even like that big of an airport, all things considered.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure the Oakland airport is bigger.
Yeah.
And then you've also got the San Jose airport, which, in all the grand scheme of things, isn't that far away.
Yeah.
And so they all basically function as one really big airport that's distributed. So we don't have things like the giant complex that is LAX, which is...
Okay.
Its own beast.
Oh yeah, LAX is, The Los Angeles airport is 14 square kilometers.
They're probably towns smaller than it.
Likely.
Probably.
But yeah. Yeah. It's like as we've said, like if like Puerto Rico, the U.S. territory, when arguing like yeah, it should probably be a state. Like yeah, if it became a state, it would be like in the top half of the population wise. I'm pretty sure, or just shy of it.
Damn. That's kind of sad.
Or here's another one. Washington, D.C., the nation's capital,
Yeah.
has a population of 678,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
This is a territory of one city. It has... I don't think it would be in the bottom 5 populations for states, I don't think. U.S. states by population. Wikipedia. Okay, yeah. DC it would be in the bottom 5. DC would be 3rd from the bottom.
Damn.
Just wow.
It would be between Vermont and Alaska.
Okay, that's gonna make sense.
I mean, Vermont's also kind of small, so that also have to make.
Yeah, Vermont is tiny and has a reasonable population for its size. And then you have Alaska, which is just Siberia, America.
Yeah, basically. It's basically American
That's a good
Siberia.
part.
And meanwhile, Alaska laughing at Texas.
Yep. For some other ones, we've got yeah, Puerto Rico is between Iowa and Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Puerto Rico, according to the July 1st estimate, has a population of 3.2 million people.
I see. I don't need gold.
Which
Oh,
which means it has a population just shy of Los Angeles.
That's fucking weird.
Meanwhile, at the top of the list we have California, Texas, Florida, New York, and Pennsylvania in that order.
Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania?
Okay. I didn't
Pennsylvania.
actually. Okay, that surprises me.
Okay.
There are so many people in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because it's California is just shy of 40 million people.
Damn.
Yeah, it's California.
It is California.
Like California
Texas.
is basically its own country if it wants to be. So yeah.
Oh yes.
I mean, it's trying to.
no, that's Texas who's trying to.
I thought,
Yeah,
I thought
okay,
California
fuck.
was trying to get independence. Oops, my bad.
Not really. It's like that's like a thing some people have brought up, but like not really serious.
Texas is
Texas
like.
is the one who's like, oh yeah, Texas, let's go.
But does it even is like Texas? Does it even have the economical strength to?
Probably.
Yes.
Does it?
It does.
Yes.
does?
Color me surprised.
Okay, but I don't know
Texas is
because
Texas is one of the relatively few states that sends more money to the federal government in taxes than it gets in grants from the
okay.
federal government.
okay.
It's also where a lot of oil is.
Honestly, I always see like. So Texas is like, yeah, it's like Bavaria and Germany that also sometimes say, yeah, we want to go independent, but they don't do it because it's better to stay together.
Well, last time Texas tried, Georgia got burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the joke is like, oh yeah, if Texas gained independence, all that would mean is a big desert area on America's border full of oil.
What?
Hey,
Weird things are constantly
did you
happening as
sure?
well. Like, for example, Elon Musk trying to DNA splice cat DNA with human DNA. At Meep, is that true?
I
Oh, yeah, it is.
think he said something about making cat girls once.
But there are going to be nightmares if that ever happens, because hey, this is not a fucking game.
Also, B, it's Elon who's making them.
Even worse, bro can't even game.
My brother in Christ, even his AI hates him.
Looking at the news, I went Elon Musk cat girls news, and I'm seeing a bunch of stuff about him trying to make a cat girl robot.
Huh?
That robot even is functional.
I don't fucking know. Anyway,
Wait, he wants to make a cat girl out of a fucking what's the van called again? His fucking car.
Tesla?
he wants to make
No,
a
not Tesla.
Cybertruck cat girl.
Yeah, Cybertruck. Yeah, that's
Oh
what I mean.
no!
Ow.
Oh my god. Anyway, speaking of Tesla, Tesla has apparently gone to change their bylaws to make it harder to sue the company board.
Ah.
Uh-huh.
Specifically, it's making it harder for investors to sue the company board by saying you must own at least 3% of the company in order to sue them. Because people keep suing them over them giving Elon Musk a whole bunch of money, despite the fact Elon Musk is driving the company into the ground.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully it continues on to get into the ground and never get up again.
Anyway, speaking of him and his antics, Doge got blocked by a U.S. judge for one of their various things they've been trying to do, which was they were attempting to take over and dismantle the U.S. Institute of Peace.
Oh my god, Emmy wanted to talk about this. Emmy talked about this. They literally took over it with, like, military force. Emmy talked to me about it this week.
Same.
She was like, I'm so fucking pissed.
Yeah, they just marched in there and went to just get rid of it because, you know, peace.
We don't need peace. We only need money.
Yeah, it's the Star Trek the Ferengi rule of acquisition. War is good for business. Then again, you also have to remember that it's immediately followed by peace is good for business. Just different businesses. Yeah. In other news, the Trump administration has agreed to settle a wrongful death lawsuit being filed by the family of a woman shot dead by Capitol police officers during the January 6th riot. And has agreed to pay them $5 million.
They're never gonna see the money, aren't they?
No, they probably are, because it's coming from the U.S. government. And it's more the fact of they just agreed. Oh yeah, by the way, the person who was actively trying to bash down a door into like where Congress people were, who got shot by a police officer being told to go away. Yeah, no, yeah, that was an excessive use of force.
My fucking god.
It was wrong for that to happen. It's peaceful protesters just showing their support. Insert picture here of the picture of one of the Jan 6 protesters trying to gouge out the eyes of a Capitol police officer.
Brother, what?
Does that happen?
Yeah,
that is a photo that exists from that day. They were so peaceful, they were chanting "Hang Mike Pence."
Who was Mike Pence?
He was Trump's first VP.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Stupid creeper. You make me look bad.
It turns out it doesn't like him very much, for a particular reason. Anyway, Jimmy.
Yes?
This just in person you really hate makes a good point.
Okay, so... hold on, let me just get myself to a hole, I guess. Actually, no. So everyone knows here how much I don't like, the president of my country. Because he just keeps doing stupid things after stupid things, right? Well, he made...
As presidents tend to do.
Yes. He made a really good point, by wanting to ban Israel from Eurovision. I think we've talked about the whole Eurovision thing before. But basically banning Israel from Eurovision for what they've been doing in Gaza and shit like that. And
Why are
like,
they in Eurovision? They're not in Europe.
also that? I'm sorry, but why are they there? They're not European.
I want Australia back and Canada. I want Canada to join.
Yeah, why is fucking... Actually, good question. Why is Australia in Eurovision? Pretty sure-
What? Why is Australia?
Australia,
Pretty sure-
Australia
pretty sure
was in
Australia-
Eurovision.
Pretty sure Australia can vote in Eurovision.
Yeah, it can. Or was able to. I don't know if it can anymore.
Are they getting in there through like some British crown loophole?
Maybe.
Yeah. But strangely, I believe Canada never was a part of it. Well, I wouldn't mind them, but when it comes to Israel, bruh. Get out of here!
Do you have the specific quote that the president of Spain used when talking about it?
I can look it up. I think I posted the tweet.
Yeah, you have the tweet.
Can you respond to it? Hold on.
Oh, I'm gonna read it. I'll read it out for you.
Okay. Just like Russia when invaded Ukraine, Israel should be banned. We can't accept double standards for the EBU. Spain is with Ukraine and Palestine.
Exactly. Let's go. Can say the same about my country.
Doesn't mean I like this man still. I fucking hate him. He's fucking stupid. Oh my god. Ooh, that's a lot of lapis.
But yeah, you have like, I've noticed you have a few countries who say, Israel should be left alone and should stay, and then you have countries who just say, bro, they should go.
I'm in the boat of fuck Israel. They are being too excessive for this. Like I talked about this with my parents about this, and they were like, yeah, but Hamas started all this by going into a concert, kidnapping a bunch of people, and killing a bunch of others. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't mean that.
It doesn't excuse them dropping unguided ordnance on marketplaces.
Basically.
Exactly.
It's like,
killing
as I
innocent
said, it's like
people.
my stance on it is, look, I understand you're fighting terrorists who refuse to wear uniforms and are hiding behind the civilian population. Okay? I understand it's difficult for you. However, America makes this thing. It's like called the Flying Ginsu. It's a missile with swords on it. It's specifically designed to target people in crowded areas without inducing civilian casualties. I'm sure we'd love to give it to you if you asked for it. The thing that's so precise that when we wanted to take someone out who was in a moving vehicle, we had to know which seat of the car they were in. Okay? But and we I'm sure we'd love to give you this to like specifically take out all your terrorists. We'd love to do that.
Israel
However,
wants to bomb everything.
You're using unguided ordnance. You're not
Bombs.
even using guided ordnance consistently. Yeah, they're using dumb bombs.
Israel doesn't care,
like-
that's the thing.
There's a thing that I saw. It was an old American officer talking about this. It relates to Afghanistan. This thing called terrorist math. Okay, so you're in an area conducting anti-terrorist operations. There are 10 terrorists in the area. You get in a firefight with them and you kill 5 of them. How many terrorists are there now in your area? That's right, 20. Because those 5 terrorists you killed, well, they had brothers, cousins, friends,
Basically, yeah.
fathers, sons, etc. Who were, they didn't like you, but like they weren't like willing to go take up arms and go fight you and all. But like, oh, you just killed their guy. Now they have to go avenge their guy. Congratulations. You've just radicalized them. Except now Israel's just doing that by just, bombing marketplaces.
Yeah, they're just spreading the hate and making sure that it comes more.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, Hamas went and killed a whole bunch of people in their raid. It's like,
And also,
even if we're
kidnapped a
assuming-
bunch of them and brought them back dead.
Yeah.
Which I'm
even
going to
if
say,
we're
I
assuming-
don't, I condemn this kind of shit. This should not happen.
Yeah.
This shit sucks. It should not happen. But it does not give you the ability to just rain justice from above and kill children.
Even when America went all proportional response, generally it's like, oh yeah, it's like, okay, we're just removing your military assets, just remove half of Iran's military. It's like Operation Praying Mantis when America went full proportional response. Like, yeah, America's like, you know what, half of your navy gone. But no, it's like, even if we're assuming, like, Hamas is like the Gaza Health Ministry, which is technically run by Hamas. Even if we're assuming they're overclaiming the amount of casualties they're suffering, like for every 10 casualties, if we assume for every 10 they report, one of them's real. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're assuming that's true, according to them, 54,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war in Gaza. Assuming only 10% of those are real.
That's 49,600 Palestinians you just killed for no reason.
Yeah, even if we're assuming, right, that it's still, several thousand people. And that's just the people who are like, I believe, directly killed. Because as an estimate, rounding up, 12,000 people were killed in the Hamas-led attacks of October 7th.
Yeah.
Even if we're like divide the amount of Gazans that have supposedly died by 10, that's still 54,000 people, which is still, like 2 to 3 times more.
Yeah. Also, I just want to say, I think we have this on the Roomba as well. Something about Canada, UK, and France.
Yes, that is in there.
Can we get to it since we're already talking
let's
about
it? Let's cover all this now. Yeah. So the UK, France, and Canada, their leaders published a joint statement condemning Israel's quote disproportionate and quote intolerable actions in Gaza, demanding an immediate stop to its current offensive in Gaza and threatening, quote, concrete actions if Israel doesn't back off. We have a quote from the UK Minister of the Armed Forces. Quote, "We stand in support of Israel's right to self-defense, as long as they conduct that within international humanitarian law. A position we've had since these appalling attacks on October 7th. But also very clear we need to see aid get to the people who are genuinely suffering in Gaza." The Israeli President Netanyahu accused the leaders of the UK, France, and Canada of supporting and emboldening Hamas.
Yeah, you just know how stupid that fucker is. I like how he is in denial.
He's a
Fuck
dictator.
Netanyahu.
Of course, if anyone's gonna be saying something
Netanyahu.
about him, he's going to deny it and accuse the other party.
He
And not
didn't
even
break
with any
out
argument.
everyone. He didn't bring out the everyone who doesn't wholeheartedly support Israel's anti-Semitic argument, but
He basically did.
Holy shit.
which, speaking of, by the way, aid needing to get into Gaza. I read an article from the BBC. Apparently, Israel cut the power lines to Gaza's desalination and sanitation plants.
Damn.
Their backup
Uh-huh.
generators have been running, but they're only able to keep the desalination plant running at 20% capacity. And according to the UN, as of the article that was published on Wednesday, they had less than a full week of fuel left.
Yeah, and we should support Israel, bro. Like, just look at what fucking Israel is doing.
Gaza has a population of 2 million people, and their sources of drinking water are about to run out of power.
My fucking god.
I'd like to point out, they're already having to use their drinking water to dilute salt water to get enough drinking water. They're having to dilute it to a point where it's barely drinkable.
That's just fucking horrible.
And volunteer doctors in the area are yeah, we're already seeing kidney problems from this.
And when there here is Israel, not just continuing it, but also blocking also the one volunteer help and stuff.
Yeah.
They're literally doing anything.
Yeah, it's like they finally lifted a months-long aid blockade for because they were just not letting aid in at all for like a month. They're not letting in food or water or fuel or anything. It's like, I think it's like a third of the population is like actively on the brink of starving to death. And like the rest of the population is facing a huge food shortage.
And their country that caused it gets nearly, got the second place and nearly won it because somehow they all
Propaganda.
insane.
It was literally propaganda.
Basically,
It's because there's one other thing.
It wasn't even basically like. I don't think I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen a country run like propaganda ads for their Eurovision campaign like Israel did this year.
Israel is like everything they do outside of like when it comes to entertainment is propaganda. I feel like the entire country is literally based on propaganda to make them feel like the good ones.
No,
outside.
Not the good ones, just like the victim.
And the victim, yeah, bro. Like the good ones, the victim, everything basically in one thing.
Alright. Next up, we're going to the Associated Press to cover this next bit of nonsense from them. So, this occurred. This wasn't in Gaza. This was in the West Bank region, which is the other bit of Palestinian territory. This is the one that Hamas doesn't control. It's controlled by a different group. But this was specifically in the part of the West Bank that Israel illegally occupies. Illegally under international law. So, there was an incident where a couple IDF soldiers fired warning shots to disperse a crowd. As you do. Slight issue. The crowd was a group of international diplomats from Europe.
Damn.
Whoa.
Literally all I can say, damn.
What are you doing?
Including at least one representative from France while visiting Jenin, a Palestinian city that has seen repeated Israeli military raids. Israeli army said the visit had been authorized, but the soldiers opened fire when the delegation reportedly deviated from agreed upon route. No injuries were reported. I'm reading the Associated Press article. France responded by summoning Israeli ambassador to the foreign ministry in Paris. French foreign ministry spokesman said the diplomats, quote, came under fire and described the incident as, quote, unjustifiable and unacceptable. Underscores the growing tension between Israel and Europe and comes amid rising concern for the safety of diplomats and Jewish communities abroad. On Thursday, the French government issued separate orders to reinforce security around Jewish sites following the fatal shooting of 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C. We'll get to that. Yeah, it's just they fired warning shots in the vicinity of European diplomats.
What should I say? They just want to piss everyone off?
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, the other piece of news from the week related to them is that in DC, this week there was a shooting in DC where a pair of Israeli embassy staff were killed after leaving an event at the Jewish Museum by a radical individual who, while being arrested by police, shouted "Free Palestine." The attack was seen by officials in Israel and the U.S. as the latest in a growing wave of anti-Semitism as Israel ramps up its offensive in the Gaza Strip, and as food security experts have warned Gaza risks falling into famine unless Israel's blockade ends. What do you mean, a risk falling into famine? It was months ago I was reading articles where it's like, yeah, we're eating animal feed and we're almost out of that. That was months ago. Blah, blah, blah.
I just wish it could end eventually. All this fucking
Hard to do. Hard to do that, bro.
yeah.
Hard to do that if Israel keeps
The
being
Israeli
backed
Prime
by the
Minister
bigger
gave a
countries.
statement. Said he was shocked by the quote, horrific anti-Semitic shooting. Quote, we are witnessing the terrible price of anti-Semitism in the wild incitement against Israel.
Anti-Semitic.
That's the other thing is they've taken to tying any criticism of Israel to anti-Semitism and vice versa.
He literally
That's what they're
yelled, "Free Palestine." I believe the reason here is clearly different. And that is simply that people all start to get pissed off at Israel so much that they actually take things in their own hands. I mean, still, shooting people is not the right thing.
Yeah,
but
no.
what do you expect? Like,
Yeah, no,
bro.
this was cringe what this guy did, but like, this was, I'd like to run. There was a active meeting going on inside like the building of like a big like Israeli history thing. If it was anti-Semitism, he would have gone and like shot up the building, but that's not what he did. He went and shot people employed by the government of Israel, which is still cringe, but it's like a different kind of cringe. It's cringe because he's just murdering people. It's supposed to cringe where he's like going and being anti-Semitic massacre.
Yeah.
It's just flagging it wrong. And it's once again showing that Israel doesn't realize, and just doesn't, not realize, it doesn't want to accept that.
No, they realize, and it's more, they're intentionally conflating the two as a way to try and deflect criticism.
Yeah, absolutely.
And label all their critics as just Nazis.
Well, to be fair,
which is ironically the same thing Russia does.
I already get called that in the lobbies as soon as I say that I'm Germanic, so
That's sad to hear. I'm sorry to hear that, dog.
It's one of the classic insults that happen in online lobbies that you get if you say you're Germanic.
Anyway. We're moving on to the area of Palm Springs, California. Palm Springs, California, where a Palm Springs fertility clinic was the victim of a car bombing.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
Oh god, don't just yes.
Yeah, so someone blew up a car bomb outside the facility. There was no one inside was hurt.
Thank fuck.
Yes. The first responders rushed to restore power to ensure the survival of the frozen and incubating embryos inside the facility.
The babies.
Yeah. I'm skimming through the article.
Take your time. Take your time.
They managed to restore power. Yeah. Yeah, it was like by sheer coincidence the facility was empty. Like the staff who were gonna be working at all were all like out. Like one of them was out visiting family. The others have been called away. And there's like a procedure that was scheduled that had gotten rescheduled.
Lucky.
Yeah, it's very lucky. They did arrest a suspect who is like really like crazy weirdo from my understanding. We've got a quote from the FBI. The suspect had nihilistic ideations, and this was a target attack. Posed and recorded anti-natalist beliefs, where he found it morally wrong or unjustifiable to have children.
What?
Yeah. Apparently, the only person who died was the guy who blew it up.
Oh,
Good. That's one less loose end.
He apparently attempted to live stream it, but they found no evidence that the broadcast ever aired.
this is just weird.
Yes.
Yeah, just really weird nonsense, cringe asshole.
Good thing he's not here anymore.
Yeah. This is certifiably in the vein of that time terrorists tried to like blow up an airplane, and all he succeeded in doing was blowing himself up, and like that was the extent of it. He blew it up, and then it put a hole in the side of the airplane, which sucked him out, and literally no one else. No one else was hurt.
That happened?
That's an actual thing that happened. Yes.
God.
That's funny. That's very
That's
funny.
actually an skill issue, but in a good way, luckily.
Yeah, karma.
Yeah, that's a skill issue detected. I know there was another one where it was like some people tried to like car bomb an airport in Scotland, ran straight into the bollards, got stuck, and then just all like the people who saw this happen like, nah, fuck you guys, and started beating the shit out of them. Like one of the few people who was like actually at the airport who got hospitalized because he tore his hamstring kicking one of them in the balls.
Oh.
You know, and then people then tell me that GTA is unrealistic, but just look at the real world. Literally, that could all also happen there.
Who the frick needs to see a live stream of someone blowing up a freaking vehicle? Again,
Yeah.
nihilistic tendencies.
Yeah, it's cringe shit. Speaking of some nonsense, which actually was luckily averted, Romania,
Oh,
the far-off
the
land
Romania.
of Romania, made the news this week. They had the second round of their presidential election. So Romania was holding their presidential election, as you. Romania, as a functioning democracy, has many candidates.
And one of them
which
is,
they have first
bro...
We'll get it. They have the first round, where then they take the top two candidates to have the second round election. The top two candidates in the first round were, with 40% of the vote, there was a cringe asshat who was the Putin simp, who ran under a campaign titled "Make Romania Great Again."
Are you no, please, no, you're
Wait,
kidding,
did,
right?
did he actually do that?
That was his actual campaign.
Yeah, luckily this shit apparently doesn't work in Europe.
Yeah.
Also, fuck the AfD.
This guy got 40% of the vote in the first round, which was well in excess of the guy who came second, who got like 10% of the vote. So then they had the second round, where literally Romania came together and said, "Fuck you guys," and all rallied behind the winner, who's goes by the name of I think it's Nikusar Dan. I think is how you pronounce it.
His last name is dead. Okay.
Yeah, I believe so. Who is a math genius, two-time winner of the Math Olympiad. Both times he won with a perfect score.
Base.
And has a PhD in mathematics. Who ran on combating graft and not sucking off Putin.
Let's
Not
go,
sucking
bro.
off pudding. Absolutely.
Bro, that candidate is actually fucking based, bro. What the hell?
Absolutely fucking base.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Literally studied
notably,
math.
Notably, his victory is credited to the Romanian diaspora, so Romanian citizens living abroad, who
Let's
turned
go.
out en masse all over the world in the second round to ensure their homeland remained on the right side of history. Notably, in the first round of the election, there was about 1 million votes from the diaspora.
Yeah.
In the second round of the election, there was 1.5 million diaspora votes.
Oh wait,
Damn.
that is why my Romanian neighbor was
50%
away.
increase of Romanians showing up to their embassies all over the world to cast their ballots or ask for ballots to vote for this guy. Because, like, nah, fuck that other guy. Because, like, as soon as, like, he went to the second round, they everyone suddenly woke up, it's like, wait a minute, oh shit.
Wait a minute, he's not
That's why my
joking.
room-
Fuck.
That's why my Romanian neighbor was away. Okay. Oh my god.
Zelensky congratulated him on his win and invited him to visit him in Ukraine to meet in person.
Based Zelensky as per usual.
A bunch of other world leaders were congratulating him, but Zelensky's notable one because the other guy was Putin simp.
Yeah.
And I like to point out that if Romania won, Ukraine would functionally only have one friendly neighbor, and that would be Poland.
Let's go Poland though.
Because
Oh, Poland is a good neighbor to have.
because the only other country that isn't like a Russian puppet that Ukraine borders is Moldova, and the part of Moldova Ukraine borders is the part where they have the Russian-backed separatists.
Figured so.
So, yeah,
Man,
that
it's-
and Moldova's only neighbors are Romania and Ukraine. So,
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna change my shoes.
they apparently also immediately passed something where it's like, yeah, Russia, if any of your drones cross over into Romania, we're just automatically gonna shoot them down now.
Let's
None of this
go.
other nonsense. We're just actively gonna say no. Fuck, get the fuck out of our airspace.
As it should be.
Next up, Mina had put in there, but I'd also put it in here. But I want to talk about it anyway, just in briefly. We'll talk about it in more detail maybe when Mina gets here or not. But Sesame Street has been saved.
Okay.
Netflix saved Sesame Street. Let's go. Netflix struck a deal to host Sesame Street, so Sesame Street has a home. So they're gonna. Elmo has a new job.
Yes,
Elmo's job is saved.
Actually, I've saved Elmo. Let's go. In this economy,
Yep.
and it's getting paid by Netflix. So.
Anyway, back to cringe. So, the Secretary of Homeland Security in the U.S. was testifying before Congress about something or other. As you do, and they got asked a question, a fairly simple question, for someone who's supposed to be a lawyer. They got asked, "What is habeas corpus?"
Yeah.
And they answered, the Secretary of Homeland Security, someone who is supposedly a lawyer, answered, habeas corpus is the right of the president to deport anyone they want.
No, he did not. He did not.
She actually said that.
But she. Oh, she. No, I'm sorry. She didn't do that. Please don't tell me. Please.
That-
no,
that is-
no. That is so the opposite of what it is. And oh my god. Does even one person in actually a powerful position actually think?
Nope.
Or is it like no.
Just no.
That answer is
I
really
have the exact. I have.
brother in
I have the
Christ.
exact quote. Quote, a constitutional right that the president has to able to remove people from this country and suspend their rights. That is what she said it means.
Spend their rights.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. I was getting myself comfortable and putting some clothes in the.
Straight up. You know what I'm comparing this to? Literally, like if anyone watches One Piece, the world government in One Piece. That's straight up it. Oh, fucking my. That moment when literally supervillains become a reality, in the worst case. Oh my god.
Hold on, Meep. What happened?
The United States Secretary of Homeland Security, during a congressional hearing, was asked a question on what is habeas corpus, and she responded, quote, "A constitutional right that the president has to be able to remove people from this country and suspend their rights."
I'm going to assume that's not it.
No, it's not.
Habeas
It's
corpus
literally-
is a legal principle. It's Latin. The literal translation is "present the body," which is it's generally defined as the legal principle that requires the government to provide a public reason for detaining and imprisoning people.
Ah, so
But
she was
the-
bullshitting out of her mind.
Yeah, I like to point out this person is supposedly a lawyer.
She's a lawyer, and she basically said you have no human rights.
The congressperson who is like asked the question referred to it as the foundational right that separates free societies like America from police states like North Korea.
Uh-huh.
Bro, please kick that secretary off her position. What is she doing there?
Okay, actually no, the Latin literally translates to "you have the body," meaning basically it's the idea of if the government arrests you for like something, they have to like, yeah, this is why we've arrested you, and it's the like, so it's like, yeah, we've arrested you for murdering Dave. It's like, Dave is right there, he's alive, he's standing there. What the fuck are you on about? Oh, sorry about that. I guess we have to let you go then.
I
No,
feel like I'm
that's,
going insane.
Like this is no. This
We live in a society.
We live in a society.
You wouldn't get it.
In other news, apparently the Trump administration is reportedly considering using foreign aid funds to finance deportation efforts.
Brett.
Wait. Wow.
Yes, World of Warcraft.
I don't really have
wow.
anything else to say on that.
No, you can't basically say more to this.
Yeah, there's
because-
literally nothing else you can say about it.
Holy shit.
In other
Crazy.
news, we have something that's sort of good news, actually.
Oh?
The U.S. Senate, United States Senate,
Uh-huh.
like just kind of like out of left field, someone actually finally got around to proposing a bill, and they're like, "All right, does anyone oppose this bill?" And everyone's like, "No." All right, cool, and it passed.
Yay.
Like- And it was the quote "No Tax on Tips" Act, which
What?
isn't actually just flat out no tax on tips, but it's
Yeah.
like if you make less than a certain amount of money, if you get tips, if you get cash tips up to a certain amount, you don't pay taxes on them. Which is
Yeah,
admittedly
like-
one of the things Trump campaigned on, like actually getting passed. So
There are taxes on tips.
yes,
Of course they are.
Brother.
What do you think? What do you think this is?
as
Not America?
taxable income. Yeah, it's taxable income.
Bro, what the hell? But if I give someone €2, he keeps the €2.
Well, also you have to keep in mind is in the U.S. tipping is assumed mandatory because that's like you directly paying the wait staff and stuff because it's basically an excuse for restaurant owners to not pay their workers nearly as
What
much.
the
as they could.
fuck?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That's always been a
They
thing too.
forced me on tipping.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
it's not always been a thing, but it's
Like what?
become like standard practice across the U.S.
Is it also the same in McDonald's and Macca's? Why is it different?
I don't think it's standard at fast food.
Yeah, okay.
But for like specifically like sit down restaurants where you have a waiter.
But luckily there's
uh,
McDonald's though.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but like, okay, I mean, yeah, cultural difference and such, but the fact that it also just gives the owners the excuse not to pay the workers just makes it fully like, bro, no.
Yeah,
What? The...
yeah, exactly. That's why in the US you're seen as an asshole if you don't tip.
Guess I'm an asshole.
Because if you don't tip in the US, you're actively depriving the wait staff of like their money that they're supposed to be paid. Because
By their bosses.
a lot of times they're taxed assuming that you're tipping.
What if I just take like a okay, I mean in this case a $5 like thing, and then I just put it into his pocket or else, and she just keeps it? Or are they getting checked before they leave the workplace?
I don't know.
Because
I think I think it's just like assumed it's like whatever the percentage you're supposed to tip, just they're assumed to like
Because,
have
like,
that like taxed accordingly or something like that. I don't
tipping over here is always just between the employee and between the customer. Like I give him, for example, €5 and he keeps it finished. End
Yeah.
of discussion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If they treat you
That's how it
well,
should
you
be.
tip. That's how a tip works.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, but that's not what it is nowadays in the U.S. It's cringe.
So that's generally another really cringe factor of the US, bro.
Yes. Again, it's the
Damn,
U.S.
that's a big L. That's a big L. Holy shit.
It's the U.S. What do you expect, honestly?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Trump had another disastrous meeting in the Oval Office this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, this time with the president of South Africa.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
We'll get back to that topic now. Okay.
Where Trump brought up the fucking white genocide conspiracy theory.
White
And-
genocide, bro.
I have a
And
question for Trump. Why?
Because Elon Musk.
Also, what he's going to answer you is, I don't know, man. Because I can.
Yeah. And then he's like rambling on about it. He apparently like showed like pictures supposedly of this, which is like actually just like pictures from like the Congo of like a mass grave, of like a massacre there of black people, but you know. Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, that's, you know, whatever. It's not the dumbest thing he said that day. It's just, what the fuck? And the thing
No,
is,
it's like,
he's going off and off on this. Then he like rambles on to a completely different topic, where he's going in about the freaking fake news and media rant from the mainstream media about the whole Qatari 747 gift, which then ends with the president of South Africa saying, "I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you." To which Trump responds, "I wish you did."
No, he
Bruh.
did not. He did. He actually
look,
did.
you know what? I don't know if I should cry or if I should laugh or should do both. Because this is terrible, but also so comical at the same time.
It's so comically stupid. It doesn't make sense.
You
Mhm.
couldn't write fiction this stupid. No one would believe you. You'd be criticized for having ridiculous writing.
Fiction's
This is
so bad.
obscene.
Reality's so bad. Even fiction doesn't want to copy it.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
speaking of,
like-
by the way, America officially accepted that Qatari 747.
Of course, they did.
Yeah, okay. Like, you literally, like, honestly, if they would do that in a fiction, it would be considered bad writing. But here we are now. Actually, it was good writing. Damn. Actually, it is close to the reality. Okay. Comedy shows are canon now, by the way, so.
The Onion performing dark magic, attempting to summon satirical headlines more ridiculous than what's happening in real life.
They really are just fucking
Yeah.
pulling black magic for that shit, dude. What the hell?
I don't know how else they're gonna be doing this. And I assume every time they do that, someone in the administration just goes, "Write that down! Write that down!"
No,
Basically.
that's worse. That's worse.
We have to do that! We have to...
Apollo winding up the dodgeball of prophecy.
Honestly, at this point, I just hope that in the end, actually, everyone just says, "Ah, kidding! It was actually for a movie that was like literally recorded for 4 years. It's a comedy show in real life." And they sadly shows the fucking USA as its main place.
Yeah, the US of A, the biggest comedians in the universe.
No, brother. No.
I just took a look at the Onion, their website, to see if there's anything notable from it that isn't just huge insanity. It's like supposed to be like actual like proper satire as opposed to just comedy. Oh. Currently on the front page of The Onion, Elon Musk creates federal employee revenge porn database.
Oh my god.
Damn, that sounds like something he'd actually do.
That's the worst part.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about some good news.
Those exist?
Yes!
Yeah, apparently.
Holy
We
shit.
have
Let me
the
guess,
world's
Yeah.
first successful human bladder transplant.
Ooh.
I see, I see.
So we can transplant that now too. Nice. But that's actually holy hard. But hey, thankfully, man.
This is mending, right? Yes, it does.
At least
Surgeons from UC, University of California, Los Angeles, successfully performed the first ever human bladder transplant, a potentially game-changing procedure for people suffering from bladder dysfunction and pain. The historic surgery, which was completed on May 4th,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep, that is a headline, all right.
4 years in the making. For appropriately selected patient, it is exciting to be able to offer a potential new organ. Yeah. The transplant recipient had previously lost most of his bladder during a tumor removal process, leaving the remainder too small and compromised to work properly. Both of his kidneys were also subsequently removed due to cancer and end-stage kidney disease, and he had been on dialysis for 7 years. The complex procedure involved the transplant of both a new bladder and a new kidney recovered from a donor. The surgeons
Yes.
first transplanted the kidney, followed by the bladder, then they connected the kidney to the new bladder using a technique they had pioneered. The entire procedure lasted approximately 8 hours. The results, they said, were quickly evident. Kidney immediately made a large volume of patient's kidney function improved immediately. There was no need for any dialysis after surgery, and the urine drained properly into the new bladder.
oh, good.
There are unknowns associated with the procedure, including how well the transplant bladder will function over time, how much immunosuppressant will be needed to prevent the rejection of the transplanted organs. To date, the recipient has been stable. Why has this not been done until now? Yeah. Bladder transfer was not done previously, they said, in part because of the complicated vascular structure of the pelvic area and the technical complexity of the procedure. Current treatments. So apparently, there's a bunch of blood vessels in the area that makes it really difficult.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah. Which, yeah, cool. Rare good news. New organ transplant unlocked.
At least we have some development over there.
Yep. In other news, we have an update on a previous story from Newark, New Jersey, where there was the Newark City mayor who'd been accompanying some congressmen trying to conduct a congressional oversight night tour of an ICE facility, where the mayor had gotten arrested for quote-unquote trespassing.
Ah, that's stupid
yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, they dropped the charges.
Thank
The
God.
charges were dropped, and the judge gave the prosecutor a just laid into him for like, my guy, what the hell was this?
Yeah.
You jumped the gun, my guy. You're overeager, like a lot of just went off on the guy for this nonsense.
They trespassed. They trespassed.
No, it just went off on the prosecutor for just like
Yeah, thankfully.
basically everything short of calling it a political persecution.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, in other news, ICE has begun deporting people to South Sudan without proper notice in defiance of the Supreme Court. Again.
BRB.
Do I say it? Do I get to say the thing?
Yes.
To the surprise of absolutely nobody. But at this point, I'm surprised they're not deporting more people than they already are. Oh, Jesus, thunderstorm.
In other news, we have another piece of good news, actually.
Damn.
We're going to Sweden.
What did the Swedes do this time?
A Swedish steel producer
Mm-hmm.
has developed a method of steel production that does not require coal, reducing the carbon footprint of producing steel to near zero, which is a huge deal because the production of steel accounts for nearly 10% of global CO2 emissions.
Oh? That's pretty neat.
Yep. I've got an NPR article on it, and it's just they basically Steelmakers have been using the same basic recipe for hundreds of years. They heat up iron ore in a blast furnace with refined coal. The chemical process releases lots of carbon dioxide, but the company will use a different process. Instead of coal, they are using hydrogen.
So what's hydrogen?
The biggest, they're using hydrogen. Yeah.
No, but like literally every time I've been hearing, "Oh, new thing, hydrogen." Looks inside,
Yeah.
hydrogen.
Scientists have known hydrogen could be used to make steel for decades, but it's hard to work with and more expensive than coal. Plus, most hydrogen today comes from fossil fuels and is a carbon pollution problem of its own. They are producing its hydrogen out of water using renewable energy, significantly cutting its CO2 footprint. Other steel companies in Sweden are also starting to work with hydrogen. Recently converted some of its furnaces from natural gas. It's very hard.
That's what she said.
It's really power intensive, yeah. It's a 20 megawatt furnace, which is 10,000 American homes worth of electricity.
You Americans and your weird ways of putting energy descriptions.
Yeah. And because Sweden is mostly hydroelectric and nuclear powered, it's basically all clean energy. So it's
that's just-
a good way to have nice green steel, yeah.
Hold on, how expensive is the booking foil? Oh.
Yeah. Based Sweden.
Based Sweden. Based on what? On your ass.
In other news, the Independent Congressional Budget Office has released its report on Trump's proposed big, beautiful bill, his proposed budget, which did pass the House and has gone to the Senate. And they have estimated that it would increase the national deficit by nearly $4 trillion.
Why are numbers so big?
And this is after all the Doge cuts.
Right, at that point, just close Doge. It's not worth it, dog. Oops,
Yeah.
did I say that too out loud?
I'd like to point out.
Oops, did I say that too out loud?
Yes. I'd like to point out, if that was all it did, it'd be bad enough, but it's not. For starters, it has a bunch of tax cuts for the rich, obviously, including has a tax credit for tanning beds.
Of course, the orange man would like to have his tanning beds cut off.
I'd like to point out that when this was brought up in a congressional hearing, a Democratic senator asked the Republican colleague to read the line, and they were too embarrassed to read out loud the line where they're giving a tax cut to tanning beds. Because as a reminder, they're cutting funding to medical beds.
Wow. So impressive. Much wow. Wowzers.
Yep. It also includes a small provision, which functionally ends judicial review as a concept.
Explain yourself?
They're denying funding to the enforcement of contempt of court decisions. Which effectively means it basically just pulls the teeth out of the judicial branch.
That sounds bad.
Meaning, yeah, it's effective. They're removing the power of the courts to have review power over. They're basically making it so the Supreme Court or the judicial branch doesn't have its parts of the checks and balances.
Uh-huh.
Is what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sneak that in there.
Oh, brother.
You know, casually.
Yeah.
In other news, the Oval Office got another visitor for a photo shoot this week. It was the Pope's MAGA brother.
Wait. So the Pope has a brother that is MAGA.
Yes. He's already been wheeled into the Oval Office for a photo shoot and publicity stunt.
Oh, hi in there, man. Please don't steal anything from my house. That'd be kind of rude.
Like, oh my fucking god.
Why? Such a stupid fucking thing, dude.
In other news, we go to the state of New York,
Oh, yeah.
where there was a special election for a seat in the state senate.
New York!
Yes. The New York State Senate
Mm-hmm.
for the state legislature.
Yes.
This was a special election in a district that during the presidential election
Mm-hmm.
was a 77% Trump vote.
Uh-huh. And now?
It was won by a Democrat by a margin of nearly 2-1.
Damn.
It was an 89-point total swing in 6 months.
Yeah, no shit. Honestly. Deserved. Fuck you, Trump.
Yeah,
And your lackeys.
that's how much like the Republican Party has just been getting annihilated due to Trump. When everyone realized, wait a minute, oh no, my goldfish memory is reactivating. r/leopards ate my face.
What?
There's a subreddit called r/leopards ate my face, which is basically, I voted for the leopards eating people's faces party, but I didn't think leopards would eat my face.
Oh my god.
It's a phenomenon that some people have begun calling Biden for, as opposed to shouting for it. Anyway, in other news, Pete Hegseth, Mr. Signalgate himself, who has a position in, I forget what his exact title was. He's the guy in charge of the Department of Defense. Cringe asshole.
Yes.
Yeah. So he apparently has hosted a church service in the Pentagon, which he specifically said will become a monthly service, which was broadcast on all the TVs in the Pentagon. You know, as you do. You know, just casually on government time, host a Christian church service in the Pentagon.
Because that makes sense. Not.
That seems like proper separation of church and state. Specifically, by the way, he used his hometown pastor, who is a man he's mainly known for saying Trump was divinely appointed by God.
Hey.
Apparently, we're bringing back divine right of kings.
Can we not?
Even Britain doesn't do divine right of kings anymore. Anyway, it's comedy time. The Russian Navy sucks. On tour! Actually, no, hold on. I'm gonna wait on this because I'm gonna wait for Darius to be here because he wanted to hear about this one. So let's talk about the Trump administration has
Again.
gone and banned Harvard from enrolling international students and saying all of their current international students are gonna have to transfer or get deported.
Does Harvard have to do anything with this, or can they just say no?
Well, it's specifically like revoking their like permission to do so. Harvard has sued to block it, and the court blocked it. They put an injunction on it. But basically, it's because Harvard, the administration's been beefing with Harvard for a while now, because Harvard refuses to bend the knee. And also, Harvard is functionally like the center of like the American legal field. Like all the super fancy lawyers that graduated from Harvard.
I see now why.
Yeah, and
They don't want super
they
fancy
refuse
lawyers. They want people who are dumb and just listen to orders.
that, and they refuse to bend the knee to Trump. So yeah, they're going after Harvard, and the latest round of it is they are going after that. And apparently, there's some worries from some people that they're gonna use it as an excuse to like show up to like the Harvard graduation ceremony with like 5 dozen ice fans.
Ah, fun.
Because yeah. In other news, Trump has threatened a 50% tariff on the EU to start June 1st. As a reminder, China's back down to only 30%.
Great.
The stock market's gone back down again, by the way. Certified not stonks.
Yep.
He's also said that the rise in autism diagnoses must be the result of some form of artificial induction of autism being caused by something.
No, just no.
Yup. In unrelated news, the White House website has removed nearly all public transcripts of Trump, instead replacing them with video recordings.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck? Like, apparently, like, the only transcript they still have up is, like, his inaugural address. Mina responded to that one in the idea box. Got my government-issued autism.
Hey.
Let's do a funny.
Please.
We're going back to Scandinavia. We're going to Norway, where a Norwegian man this week woke up in the morning, took a step outside, and found he had a very bulky new neighbor. A 443-foot container ship which had run aground directly next to his house.
What? What?
Like literally, if it was like 5 meters to the right, it would have hit his house.
Jesus! Oh, that's horrible.
And he slept through it.
That's funny, but still, oh my god.
He slept through it running aground there. He like had an interview. He said, "quote It's a very bulky new neighbor." From my understanding, looking at it, it's like the person who was on watch on the ship fell asleep, and they ran into the side of the fjord. There's just the very comical picture, and it's just nonchalant reaction to this development.
That's funny. That the like nonchalant reaction, I think, is the funniest part out of all of this.
Apparently, that's just like a thing like the Norwegians are known for. Yeah, hold on. Here is a picture. Oh no, this is a better picture. I'm putting it in images. This is a picture that was taken of the ship run aground next to the guy's house.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's close.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like apparently part of the problem is with they're having a bit of an issue like refloating, getting it off, both because it ran aground at high tide apparently, and because they're worried that getting it off might trigger a mudslide.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
But yeah. In other news, Trump has signed an executive order to boost nuclear power in the United States.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
I mean, should be like Congress passing a law, but like, all right, cool, that's good.
Yeah, but of course, okay. Hasn't Trump passed like a lot of things that should have been tried and passed as laws as an executive order?
Yes,
So I don't have to go run through Congress?
yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought so.
Back.
Welcome back.
Hi, back. I'm Jimmy.
Malcolm is actually my brother. So don't worry about it.
Why are you front
So-
then?
Since Darius is back, it's time for the Russian Navy Sucks on tour.
Oh.
We are
Comment right-
going to the magical, mystical land of North Korea.
Cool.
This week, North Korea went to launch one of their brand new guided missile destroyers, which, looking at it, assuming all the parts on it work, actually looks like, yeah, it's fairly decent. The problem is, of course, it's being built with Russian technology by the North Koreans.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Aw.
Well, it was being built
Oh
by the North
boy.
Koreans using technology. Because they had their launch ceremony for the ship. Kim Jong-un himself was in attendance. And there was a minor incident with the launching of this ship. Mainly, they fucked it up.
What do you
Well,
mean
launching
they
of the
fucked it
ship.
up?
Yeah, so they went to slide. They were doing a side launch of the ship where they slide it sideways into the water. And the front end of the ship didn't slide.
Ah?
Oh.
Oh my
Which
god.
means, with the Supreme Leader himself in attendance, the ship immediately, with a horrible grating sound, presumably, rolled over onto its side into the water,
And went blue.
with the bow still on land.
So it basically is destroyed. Okay. Instantly. alright.
Yes,
Damn.
it
sunk.
is, for all intents and purposes, it is a write-off. I've got a satellite photo of it, because the other funny thing is, they immediately went and threw a bunch of tarps over it.
Because of course they would. The people that did the launching are now all presumably dead or in prison.
Yeah, presumably.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's like, this is, this is the kind of thing where it's entirely likely that tore the keel apart. And even if it didn't, there's now salt water in all the electronics.
Yay.
Oh my god.
The ship's a write-off. It's done.
It didn't even
it's-
sail and it died.
Yeah, it couldn't even. It didn't even get all the way into the water. All right. This is speed running.
Death percent.
Yeah.
So like, we have that one ship and we have to speedrun its death. How do we do it? We fuck
Yeah.
everything up.
It's so hilarious.
Like, we call the Russians and they give us one ship of them and we just put it into the water. It's going to sink, trust me.
It's generally assumed that the technology stuff for this is one of the things that Kim Jong-un's being paid with for sending North Koreans to the front line in Ukraine. Yes, as a reminder, North Korea is fighting in Ukraine. The North Koreans are invading a European country and no one seems to care.
Yeah, because they are being absolutely bullied.
Oh yes, and also because the United Nations is famously very useful.
The United Nations, brother. It's over.
But yeah. So the point is, they went to launch this destroyer, which is, I think by modern U.S. standards, is just big enough to be a destroyer and not a frigate. But it's assuming everything on it worked. It is, by all accounts, looks like it would be a fairly decent design. It's got a decent number of
It would be.
VLS tubes. It's got a gun up at the front. It's got a couple Sea-Wiz guns. It's got a landing pad for UAVs. It's all right.
Keyword would, but it didn't.
It's supposedly got phased array radar. Supposedly, no idea if it works, but well, I mean, on this one it doesn't work. But you know, it's just, they went to launch the boat and they immediately fucked up with Kim Jong-un in watching. Lamau.
Damn, what a strong
Check
leader, man.
W.
Kick Maximus.
I like the other thing it's Russian Navy sucks on tours. It's theorized that the launch system they were using was built by the Russians, and it's entirely possible operated by the Russians.
Oh god. The worst combo.
Yep. I'd like to point out, by the way, the North Koreans, their Navy isn't very good.
To specify
At
for
least-
nobody.
Yeah, like, I don't mean like, oh yeah, America, I mean like South Korea could easily body them. I'd like to point out, they're operating Soviet diesel-electric submarines from the 1950s.
What?
Like, bruh.
Just fucking what the
Cringe.
hell, bro?
Anyway, moving on from that absolute cinema, I have become aware of yet another reason not to get Windows 11.
Oh no.
They have introduced a feature called Recall, which is AI powered because fucking of course it is. Which is a system where every 3 seconds it will take a screenshot of your computer.
Wait, so they're going to watch me watch. You know what?
Yes!
Yes.
Damn. Okay, I could care less to be fair.
Yes.
I mean, it's
apparently
fucking
they
disgusting.
have they have changed it so now it's opt-in now by default, supposedly, but you know, supposedly. And they've done a couple other tweaks to make it slightly less horrible, but still, it's like, no.
Yeah, it's. I mean, yeah, that should be illegal. It is. Is it? No, it isn't probably over there. Is it even here?
I mean, it's supposed to be so it makes a database for you so you can go back and see what you were doing, but like, and that's where like the AI supposedly comes in so you can query the database better, but it's like still just cringe.
Very.
Cringe.
Extremely.
Especially since it's like, I specifically learned about this because it was apparently like Signal was like doing a thing to specifically like try and counter it. Because the thing is, like, even if like you don't have Windows 11 and you're like gooning on Discord or something, if the other person on Discord who you're gooning with or whatever, if they have it on, they're having the documentation of it.
Yay.
Wait, who has Windows 11 here?
I don't.
Nope.
I don't.
Alt.
My computer's not compatible with Windows 11.
Oh fuck!
I guess I should have to get things set up real quick to opt out, because no, I don't want that.
So you do have it. God damn it, Bolt.
I have Windows 11, yeah. So I have to turn that off.
I didn't
go
go
in
with
and
Bolt.
It's called Recall.
I didn't
Look
go
up
with Bolt.
Recall. Yeah, everyone in chat, go look up Recall and try to do it. Because the thing is also, okay, yeah, it's taking screenshots of your screen. Alright. So I'm sure, you know, don't ever access your bank details via Windows 11, or any sensitive information at all, or enter any passwords ever without the little blur out thing enabled. You know, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Official Microsoft spyware based into your
love-
OS.
We love to see that. Not.
Anyway, now for something more amusing. The inaugural Weenie 500 race.
Wait, what?
Isn't it okay?
Oh,
Hold
wait,
on. Are you
is
talking
that a
about
food
the?
race?
Are you talking about the Indy 500? You're saying it in a funny way.
No,
Oh.
Is it a food race?
no, well,
Okay.
sort of. No, this is the at the. I'm pretty sure this is the same place they do the Indy 500, but it was a race with the Wienermobiles.
What do you mean by that?
The Oscar Mayer Weenie Mobile.
No, please don't tell me that.
I'll put
But
in
that's-
images.
Oh
Turn it
no.
That's off. Turn it off. No.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles.
Oh my god. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to lose my mind.
This is in the lead up to the Indy 500. Yeah.
That's
They-
hilarious.
They were racing 6 of them around the thing. That serves a goodwill. They serve as goodwill ambassadors for the Oscar Mayer, the hot dog on wheels representing the Southeast. He's provided to be the big dog on Carb Day ahead of Sunday's running of the Indianapolis 500. Yeah, the winner was the Wienermobile Slaw Dog.
Oh my god. That's.
The margin was about half a bun.
I'm sorry. The margin was what?
Half a bun.
Oh
I'm reading the Associated Press article, and it says it was the definition of a wiener take-all race too.
This is the new
driver of
Formula
a
One.
hungry dog who managed to roast the rest of the Wienermobiles on a cool sunny afternoon had to stick around for the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500.
I'm losing.
The Wienermobiles have been around since 1936 as a promotional vehicle for Oscar Mayer, not to be confused with the Louis Meyer, the first three-time winner of the Indy 500. They travel around the country, logging around 20,000 miles annually, but the none were probably as important to the hot dogs aboard as the 5 miles they drove on Friday.
The Wienermobile race. It's not just a mobile. It's a fucking entire
I
race.
feel like
filled
I'm
with
going
them.
in. I feel like I'm going insane. I feel like I'm
The
going insane.
Jojo is real.
I genuinely feel like I'm going insane.
The Indy 500 marks the unofficial kickoff of summer and the start of hot dog season, says the brand communications director. It's only fitting that we bring a race of epic proportions to the speedway and celebrate a timeless tradition. Delicious meats and a little friendly competition to kick off a summer of wieners.
Let those words never come out of your mouth again, me.
No.
please.
No. Oh my god.
Let your
What the
mouth never
fuck?
mutter those words again. Oh my god.
It's going to be a summer for wieners. The Wienermobile.
I'm
Yes.
I'm going insane. I'm going insane. I'm absolutely going fucking nuts. I'm going to
I'd
fucking...
say we're on the right timeline.
No, we're not. The funniest part for me is that it's an actual honest-to-God thing that's been happening for a while.
Yes, they're real. Well, this is the first time they've raced them, but the vehicles have been around for a long time.
I know the vehicles, like, they look familiar, but I was more so talking about, like, it would make sense, you know? Oh my god. I genuinely feel like I'm going insane hearing some of the things Meep says.
Yep. Next up, another one. So a while back, I think we covered the Amazon tribe that was like the New York Times story on them being like addicted to porn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently the tribe is now suing the New York Times for defamation over that.
Understandable.
What the hell?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say about that. Mina might when Mina gets back, because Mina also added that to the idea box. I'd added it, but then Mina added it, so I removed mine because I thought Mina might be here. Mina didn't say more about it, but oh well.
Oh well.
And finally for the idea box, besides the Russia-Ukraine segment for the week, we go to the U.S. state of North Carolina.
What did it
In
do?
the U.S. state of North Carolina, there once stood a museum to the Confederate States of America. It has been forced to close because in a storm, a tree fell on it and broke it.
Damn.
And it's just basically all the comments on like the news story, like, I support the tree in this trying time. Is the tree okay? How's the tree doing?
Yeah. Thank you, tree. No, at least you can actually be sure that the trees were backing you up, you know?
Yep. And finally, the Russia-Ukraine section.
Oh boy.
We start off with the only thing to come out of the peace talks in Istanbul. Ukraine and Russia have agreed to a 1,000 for 1,000 prisoner exchange. And they did the prisoner exchange. The only other thing to come out of the peace talks was Russia said, yeah, you're going to give us everything we want, or we're going to ask for even more.
Ah, cool.
So yeah, that's how much Russia wants peace. In other news, Russia seized a tanker leaving Estonia via Russian waters as part of a long-standing navigation agreement for a safer route, in obvious retaliation for Estonia attempting to seize a Shadow Fleet tanker last week.
Wow.
Which has forced Estonia to redo their route planning for ships leaving one of their ports to run a slightly more dangerous route that avoids Russian waters. Because there was like a treaty where like they were allowed to like leave Estonian waters into Russian waters to go like further out into the Gulf of Finland instead of running like along the Estonian coast where things are a bit more choppy and dangerous and rocky.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they can't do that anymore. Anyway, recent polling data came out indicating over 60% of Americans believe Russia is stalling the negotiations.
Oh my god, you don't
Like
say!
Americans think that. Once again, crazy that there are other 40% who don't think that, but insane.
Australia is sending 49 M1A1 Abrams to Ukraine.
Damn. Let's go.
These are older Abrams that they're retiring, and they're retiring them by giving them to Ukraine.
As it shall be.
So let's go. 49 more Abrams for Ukraine. Let's go.
More toys.
Yep.
Mhm.
Ben Shapiro says Putin is just waiting for the U.S. to walk away from Ukraine.
This is so crazy that even Ben Shapiro says this.
Yeah. Compared to Trump, Ben Shapiro's on the right side of it.
For once in his
literally,
life.
Ben Shapiro is better checked into reality than Donald Trump.
It feels like there are a lot of people who have said bullshit in the past actually can still think, and they're like, bro, Trump, you're a fucking idiot. You're actually unbelievable stupid.
Russia this week attempted to do some nuclear saber rattling by launching a nuclear-capable ICBM at Ukraine without a warhead, like they've done before.
But it had a warhead.
No, it didn't have a warhead.
Oh, okay.
It failed to launch.
Ah.
The Russians.
They can't even do that.
Yeah, they can't even launch their missiles properly.
Well,
Their
Russian missiles,
ICBMs. It's just they tried to do nuclear saber rattling. It's like, oh, it doesn't work.
Russia would be that one country that would accidentally nuclear explode itself, I swear to God.
They did do that. That's what Chernobyl was.
I mean, yeah, but I meant like actually fully the entire thing.
In other news, Ukraine conducted a massive drone strike across the Moscow region this week, being the largest wave of Ukrainian drones in the war. Notable targets they managed to include a semiconductor plant south of the city and a major oil refinery in the adjacent
let's go.
oblast, which is the adjacent province.
Destroy the oil refineries, bro.
Moscow was reportedly under a near continuous UAV barrage for for over 24 hours. Just constantly drone.
Bro,
Yeah, it just kept coming, and Russia kept struggling to shoot anything down or stop anything.
It's not surprising me whatsoever.
Moscow was put under a total lockdown, complete with army checkpoints around the city, which were army guys set up around the city at checkpoints for lockdown, with personal drone jamming equipment.
by the way, according to some people, one of the strongest countries, own capital under full lockdown.
Under full lockdown, because it's long enough they could have driven in air defense assets from the next city. Like, come on, guys. You and your so-called supposed air defense system.
Where air
Poland is
defense?
so ready. Poland is so ready to just join in. And if they do that, it's over. Then it's actually over for Russia.
A Kremlin spokesperson has said Russia will not accept any ceasefire in Ukraine.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Putin announced a new operation to create a, quote, buffer zone between Russia and Ukraine along their border. Which is basically, oh yeah, by the way, we're claiming the other border regions of Ukraine, Lamau. So, that's presumably going to be their summer offense for this year, which, as a reminder, last year's summer offensive got like 5 kilometers.
Yay.
Maybe they will actually manage to do 6 this time. Or even do even less.
Honestly, hopefully they do too.
There are also plans that are apparent of Russia is planning to connect the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant to the Russian power grid.
Oh no.
Which means Russia is planning on taking the nuclear power plant that they stole, that is in an active war zone, and turning it on to steal the electricity from it.
They're stupid.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to ask that always because it's always again. It just doesn't change. Bro.
Mind, the Russians are too fucking stupid to boil water crying, and that's why Chernobyl happened.
They can't do anything.
No, they can't.
No.
They can't do anything. Like they literally are incompetent as a nation. And North Korea exists, by the way. So yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
In other news, this week it was an accusation was leveled against Russia for the hacking of around 10,000 security cameras in NATO countries to spy on arms shipments to Ukraine. How the fuck did they do that?
I have
Those
no
fucking
idea.
Russian hackers from St. Petersburg.
That's a how are that many security cameras in a position to spy on that are like internet connected that are hackable to begin with? What?
I have no idea.
In other news, Trump has reportedly acknowledged that Putin is not ready to end the war in closed-door communications with leaders. So maybe there's a little bit of reality in his head. Who knows? Anyway, in other news, a top Putin advisor this week was giving a speech at the St. Petersburg International Legal Forum.
Uh-huh.
Ironic. But at this speech, he claimed that the USSR collapsed in an unconstitutional manner and thus still legally exists. And because of that, the military operation is an internal conflict.
Oh my god, they are coping. They are nearly dying of the copium. Holy shit. And also internal conflict, bro. Stop it. Just stop acting like people believe that. Except your own brainwashed people.
I believe there's a Simpsons clip for this.
Is there?
Honestly, there's a Simpsons clip for most things.
Yeah.
a 1 minute clip. The Simpsons USSR returns.
They're returning to Red Scare.
In other news, Trump had his phone call with Putin this week and immediately backed off sanctions because he's the most easily manipulated man in the world.
Why is this guy president?
Money.
But
In
like,
other news,
okay,
one of the notable MAGA senators is pushing to have Congress just initiate sanctions proceedings without Trump. If nothing changes soon, just get it going. Which I'd like to point out, he has a bill which 81 out of 100 senators have sponsored.
oh, okay.
Which means, at least in the Senate, they have the votes to overturn a presidential veto.
Thank God they do.
And
they
again,
need it,
Trump
probably.
can just not enforce it because, have to obey the law. Why would I do that? I'm the president. That said, we had a bipartisan Senate resolution filed this week that demands the return of Ukrainian children abducted by Russia before any peace is finalized. I mean, it's not legally binding or anything, but it's more of a show of resolve than anything. But it is a good sign that at least Congress says Putin can pound sand.
Yeah.
The Pope has offered to host peace talks in the Vatican.
Yeah, the Pope is active. I'm
He's
glad
Pope.
that we've gotten another good Pope in a row. That's actually amazing.
I don't know if we covered it, but Zelensky had a visit to the Vatican. I think it was
Oh
last
yeah,
week.
we did that. We did
Yeah.
cover that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know one of the things I saw was apparently it's tradition you give the Pope a gift when you go to visit the Vatican, and Zelensky presented him with a painting of I think some saint that's supposed to represent like the protection of like children or whatever, and it was painted on a old ammunition crate
Interesting.
that had been used to supply Ukraine with air defense missiles to protect the Ukrainian cities from Russian
Nice.
missiles.
And children from Russia.
Yes. Yes. In other news, this week, Ukraine successfully detonated a large Russian ammunition dump near the city of Krasnodar.
Nice.
Just big boom. Really big boom.
Really, really big boom.
They also managed to cause major damage to a Russian battery factory, which has been supplying power packs for Russian drones.
Good.
Based.
Yes.
And finally, the United States has finally, officially condemned the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Thank fucking God.
Now we just have to wait for Israel.
That's not going to happen.
I know.
Israel. No.
Israel has like the third or second most powerful lobbying group in Congress,
What's it called?
and
The
has
government?
the support of both of the institutions of both political parties. Like it's only like individual congressmen who like, and like individual political officials who like don't like fully support Israel, and even then it's more like, they should like just calm down a little bit, but otherwise they're cool.
Chat. For those who don't know, that's not cool.
Yeah. As a reminder, as we covered this week, Gaza is in imminent danger of running out of drinking water.
Which is, you know, cringe.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, people need water.
Right, to do?
Yeah.
Damn.
May not feel like that, but yes, they do.
That is the idea box.
Honestly, I thought that humans just need beer in their bodies. But hey, that's a German thing.
Let's see, is there anything else that's happened super recently? A flight to Houston forced to land in Seattle after passenger tries to open the exit door mid-flight.
Let me out!
Ow.
Uh,
Oh wait. Too close to my.
You screamed really loudly, yes.
Texas woman sues the state lottery after not receiving the jackpot that she says she won, I guess.
Did she actually win it? Probably not.
I don't know. The Digital Equality Act tried to close the digital divide. Trump called it racist and acts to end it. What the hell is this talking about? One program distributes laptops in rural Iowa. Another help people get back online after Hurricane Helene. Wash away computers and phones in West North Carolina. Yeah, basically helps people get online if they lose it or whatever. I don't know. And President Trump says
It's cringe.
on social that he's ending it because it's racist. Okay.
Crazy.
Texas advances 10 Commandments mandate for public schools.
What?
Texas is trying to put 10 Commandments in public schools. Like, require them to be put in classrooms.
Why?
I have no words. There's just no words.
Just. What? Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Let's see.
I just end up wondering what is going on inside their heads. And then I realize it's nothing. It's literally nothing.
No, it's nothing, huh?
They have literally nothing on their heads. They just don't think.
Florida woman charged with attacking 72-year-old wearing a MAGA hat.
Was the woman wearing the MAGA hat, or was the old person wearing the MAGA hat?
The old man was wearing the MAGA hat.
Based.
That was not what I was expecting when I saw Florida woman headline.
Me too.
To be fair,
That's why I needed a double take.
The Marjorie Trader Green is slamming Grok for being left-leaning.
That's not kidding, by the way.
Marjorie Trader Green publicly criticized Elon Musk's AI chatbot Grok on X, but challenging her Christian beliefs and labeling her religious identity as subjective. Following Grok's reference to her past support for QAnon, Christian nationalism, and controversial mentions of conspiracy theories like white genocide in South Africa. Right, Biden has cancer.
I'm so sorry for Grok because he is going to be sued.
Grok is trying so hard.
Bro, Grok is literally like the last AI standing woman. that actually
Joe Biden has cancer.
Oh,
No.
He apparently has like prostate cancer.
Fuck. No, not Sleepy Show.
Sleepy Joe.
Bro, he finally gets his time to rest and now he gets fucking dead. Oh, fuck.
A New York City operated sewage transport boat exploded in the Hudson River.
What is going on over there?
Basically a bunch of methane ignited and it caused a blast, killing one, injuring two.
Okay.
Alabama study reveals hurricane resilience programs are paying off for homeowners and insurance companies.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a new COVID variant. New COVID variant, guys.
What is it? COVID
Back into
20?
lockdown.
What is it? COVID fucking 20?
COVID
I don't
2025 is coming, and this time it happens in June, not in March.
Don't say that because it will happen, and then we'll all
And
look
Trump
at
gave
you
an
every...
unhinged. Trump gave an unhinged as shit speech at West Point.
Hold on.
And he complained about woke shit during it as well.
Oh my god. So that's all it was. Wait,
Judges
was
ordered
Trump?
the return of another improperly deported man.
There's so many. Is there any news on Trump playing golf or this week or?
I mean, he
I've
definitely
skipped
played
that.
golf. He plays golf a lot. Parents sue West Virginia over governor's vaccine mandate rollback. What's this? Two groups filed a lawsuit. West Virginia vaccine challenges his order granting religious exemptions, which followed a 2023 law. Basically, they're suing over him basically saying, no, you don't actually need to vaccinate your kids.
Ah.
Cancer deaths tied to alcohol are rising fast, according to a study.
Who would have thought?
Oh, right. So Trump has finally approved disaster declarations for tornadoes that happened like a month ago,
Uh-huh.
which he was holding up.
Why?
Oh my god.
These are among his own supporters, by the way.
I need to
Fringe.
know why.
Because it's handing out money to the poor, I guess.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. It's Trump we're talking about. I forgot.
Yep. J.D. Vance rants about the Supreme Court. It's attacking the Supreme Court specifically.
Supervise with nobody.
Quote, literally overturn the will of the American people, end quote.
God, bro.
French. Da-da. The Chief Justice, John Roberts, temporarily paused an emergency appeal. Blocking discovery in a Doge case related to the Freedom of Information Act. Cringe. A record number of Americans have applied for British citizenship as Trump began his second term.
British. Aye.
British.
You want my?
My amico.
Donald Trump says
Very
the
funny,
UK
yeah.
should get rid of, quote, unsightly windmills and drill for North Sea oil.
Oil?
Yeah, of course. It's American. It's in his American blood to want oil.
Tear out all your windmills and drill for oil instead.
Yeah.
Oil.
By the way, me, completely side tangent, Minecraft related. Look at this. The sword itself that I'm gonna apply that to has him breaking 3.
Ooh. Spicy sword.
And the sword by itself, because it's a modded sword, does 10 damage without sharpness, so it's gonna do a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Of course, fire protection 2 doesn't matter here. What I wanted is fire aspect.
Nope,
and
that just goes away.
Yeah, one of the 2 books that had fire aspect. I had 2 books with fire aspect 1. One of them had fire protection 2. So it's like, whatever. So yeah, it's gonna cost me 30 levels exactly to get that. But yeah, I should be able to soon have a very good sword. Better than a netherite sword, actually.
Oh yeah.
And all because I fed a dragon some granite.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I think. Do we have anything
But with
else?
that,
or...
we've been going for 2.5 hours.
Yep. All right.
I've turned through the idea box pretty quick, all things considered.
All right, who to raid? Any ideas, or do we just go for the safe and sound Ryan raid?
Ryan's a good classic raid.
Let's go to raid Ryan.
Unless chat wants to redeem a guide the raid. Oh, hold on. There's one more thing I want to mention. So apparently a Republican representative called for the public executions of child predators.
Good.
Yeah.
Which someone responded to that headline, isn't threatening the president a crime?
Damn.
Cold ass boy.
Call it as it is.
Well-known friend of Epstein, Donald Trump.
Alright.
Yeah.
Let's go raid Ryan. And by let's go, I mean... okay, there we go. Let's go raid Ryan. Let's go. Let's go raid the boy. Let's go raid
Thanks
the boy.
for all the fish is the only thing we will say.
He's playing Mario Kart Wii 200cc 32 tracks, no items. Why no items? You are being cringe, Ryan. Well, I mean, it is Mario Kart Wii. That game sucks with items, so I understand not wanting to play with items. Look, I tried 100%ing this game so I could play with my family, and I've never been the same since. I hate this game. Fuck the item probability in this game. It's absolutely fucking rigged. Like in some games, yeah, it's better. Like it has bad item pulls, but Jesus Christ, this game sucks ass. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.
Thanks for all the fish.
And thank you some nuts for to play my game. Alright, we are off.